Hi there, Abraham. It's a pleasure to come back and talk to you again. I think the first thing I'd like to say, too, is I've been especially, both my girlfriend and I have been especially in appreciation of Esther lately, especially since Jerry's croaked. And I tried to say that disrespectfully, like you asked. So, I just feel like there's her energy, that energy that Jerry and both her had in channeling and bringing you forth has changed a little bit into something new that's almost what Esther's, it seems like there's a new refocusing of things. Am I correct in that?
Well, you are, in that for everyone. In other words, it has re-emphasized the non-physical aspect, but it has also re-energized it in the sense that there is yet now another clear vantage point from which to understand this. In other words, there was always the physical point of view that Jerry and Esther shared. And as they began the exploration of Abraham, it evolved considerably, and then they began opening it to more like you. And as we were playing together and co-creating together, there was a relationship that was established and evolving, but established between physical and non-physical, with you all providing your physical vantage point and Esther allowing us to express our non-physical vantage point. Now, because of Jerry's reemergence into non-physical and Esther's close awareness and association with him, she is now reaching for an understanding of where he is and what it's like for him on a daily basis. And what she's beginning to understand, it's coming up several times in every day. Rather than Esther trying to understand where Jerry is or who Jerry is or what it's like for Jerry now, when she reaches there, she has no real frame of reference. Right. So she gets lost in the focusing. But when she focuses in her now on the things that are important to Jerry, on the things that they established together, and on the things that are still important to him, she can feel him joining her fully in her full and powerful present now, you see. Yeah. It's like adding another dimension of clarity and focus. And part of it is because she and you all are asking more defined questions. But another part of it is because there is a recent participant who is still involved in both aspects of the questioning and answering, who is defining it with greater detail that you're feeling. And this is satisfying.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of leads into something I've been wanting to ask since Jerry's transition, and it's been, and maybe Jerry can chime in and add his 2 cents to this, but what was kind of his experience making that transition as far as his feelings? And I don't know, maybe you can...
Oh, it's always exhilaration and relief, because under all conditions, the reemerging in the non-physical is the releasing of resistance every time. No matter what the degree of it, it's always the releasing of resistance. And so it was elation and relief and an ensuing of clarity and a rejuvenation, a revitalization, a remembering of who you are, a clear view into the vortex, and an appreciation of what had been put there. You hear people talking about their life flashing before their eyes. It was a sudden and dramatic realization of the value of all things considered, you see. It is an exhilarating experience that you will all know in time. And Esther wants to know it without having it. And that's part of what's going on. She wants to feel what that is while she's still focused here, which is the absolute reason for their joining together and rendezvousing with Abraham and all of you to begin with. Okay. In other words, we didn't come forth to teach you how to croak. That was inevitable. Yeah. We didn't come to get you to sift through contrast so that you could add to the vortex and add to the expansion of the universe. That was inevitable. We aren't talking to you to help ease your death experience. There's no problem with the death experience. You got that all worked out a long time ago. We're visiting with you because it's time for you. It's what you all wanted. It's what you said when you came. It's time for you to be fully present now. It's time for you to allow the wholeness that you are to be focused within you now. Here now. Okay. In other words, this is the leading edge. This is the distortion and the confusion that humans have been playing with for a long time. You keep thinking that the main event is somewhere else and that you're proving your worthiness in order to have some main event somewhere else. And we want you to understand that the main event is right here and we're all here with you. You're just often the last one to the here and now party, even though you're here and now. It's illogical when you think about it, you see. We said earlier today that there is nothing that we enjoy more, and we enjoy it more than all other things put together, when we know what's in your vortex and we are there living the fullness of it, and then you find a way to be there too, and you are consciously acknowledging that you are there. And so that's what we're talking about here. So Esther is walking on the beach and she is feeling the beauty of the day and knowing, because of her talking about Jerry and talking with Jerry, knowing that it is him enjoying this moment and her, for the first time in a while, not disallowing him in doing so. So then she notices the difference between a moment like that where it's just, look, seal, sand, shell, water, wind, sky. In other words, general things, none of which are resistant in nature, which allow her alignment, which then allow broader view, in this case Jerry's view, to share in her moment and give her the best feeling moment on the beach ever. Because she's focused and allowing it. As compared with walking down the beach and noticing that she's alone. Or walking down the beach and remembering that they used to do it, but now they're not. Such a huge difference. And so many people are moving through life thinking about things rather than feeling things and depriving themselves, therefore, of the true awareness and the true meaning of what living in the moment is. Because living in the moment means all of you living and focused in this moment. And so often, you're focused in this moment in a way that your inner being isn't, or your inner being is focused in this moment in a way that you aren't. But when you join together, that's what we mean by being present in your now. That's what we mean by your point of power is in the present. That's what we mean by being focused in your now and allowing the fullness of who you are to radiate and live and love through you, you see. And that's what you came for. Not one of you said, I'll go forth, cut myself off, and make do. And every day of your life, you're looking for something that will restore you to that alignment. Buy one more thing and bring it home, or find someone to love me and hold me as their object of attention and approve of me, or get approval from this or this or this or this or this. Looking for love in all the wrong places. When it's all available to you here and now. It's your now point of focus. It's about establishing an emotional grid that does not disallow the wholeness of who you are. And then when you join you, and you begin walking this path of life together, the grid will fill in with details of excellent life experience that you'll want to keep a journal about because it's so good.
Thank you for everything, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Yes, indeed. We've had quite an interesting conversation today, and from our perspective, it was emphatically out there on the leading edge. We often come together and have conversations about things that truly take thought beyond where they have been before. But this one is especially satisfying today, not only because we've moved into some new places. Esther will so love listening back to this and finding all of the new pieces that she's wanting to highlight for you. But because it is established within so many of you a renewed interest in getting back to the basics of your vibrational frequency, sort of taking it out of your head and putting it more into your heart, so to speak, into the vibrational beingness. And because of the conversations that we've had, we know that you know that the grid will fill in with the details of life that you describe as meaningful physical reality. There's no separating non-physical from physical. And we've all come so far. You are out here on the leading edge, and that's the part that we think you got with greater clarity here today. That creation is happening here, and that Source is joining you here, and that this is where the party really is. And that there are times when you allow a full recognition of the bliss and beauty and perfection of you and of life, and there are times that you don't. And we think that if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be reveling in this new knowledge. Jerry said to Esther the other day, and she heard him laughing so hard while he said it. She was asking him a business question, something specifically about something that she was wondering what to do about. And his words to her were, well, if I was standing in my physical shoes. And then she realized that he can stand all day if he wants to in her physical shoes, although she rarely does herself. In other words, there need be no separation from you and you. So as you are moving forward in the days that are before you, it is our desire that you pay attention, make the conscious correlation between the new things that are happening and the understanding that came over you here today. Because it is certain that your grid will fill in with things that are unique enough that you will recognize that they are happening because of what happened here. You see what we're getting at? And when you make that correlation, then we think that you'll deliberately go to work on your grid and then let the good times roll. Because there is nothing more exhilarating than for you to define something that you want by being aware of its absence, recognize that its absence has caused an emotion within you that is the conjuring of a grid that isn't going to serve you, and then deliberately changing the vantage point, the vibrational vantage point at the basis, and doing it with such ease that it just is amazing to you that you hadn't thought of it sooner. And then to watch the precision with which the universe will proceed to deliver to you matching components to fill that in. And we promise you we will be there reveling with you in your conscious awareness that you created the basis and now the universe has cooperated. Your feeling of worthiness and your feeling of empowerment will come in proportion to the amount of emotional grids that you care to build. If we were standing in your physical shoes, and we often are, we would be making lists of positive aspects, and we would be reveling in the general perfection of your planet. We would awaken in the morning and speak our appreciation for the sun coming up, whether you can see it or not. We would acknowledge the perfection of your planet spinning in its orbit, whether you can see any other planets at that moment or not. We would feel appreciation for the intelligence of our physical body and for what the cells are doing, for what they know how to do. We would feel appreciation for the bed upon which we had slept and the pillow beneath our head. And we would bask in the deliciousness of the coverings upon our body. And we would acknowledge at the beginning of every day, this is a good day. I have such a good basis from which to begin.